and welcome to another episode of Dead Curious. We are your sister hosts. I am Roxanne,
And I'm Jessica.
and today we are going back to our usual episodes. Yes, I have brought a short but sweet story, and Jessica, you are. I still don't even know what exactly you are talking about today.
Mine is technically a very short story, but it's also kind of like an educational thing, so.
Okay, well, I think let's start with mine then.
Mhm.
Because no particular reason. So I suppose let's cover our news first. Do we have any news?
I found out from Dad, and I found this out because he told me, that he doesn't listen to the full episodes
I
because he
know
says they're too long.
he skips he goes straight to the from the beginning to the end.
It hurt my feelings.
Hmm. I've noticed that in quite a few of the episodes because you can actually track what people listen to,
Yeah.
and if you if you look, a lot of people just skip to the bloopers.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I think we
Bloopers.
should just make a whole episode of bloopers then.
It's just, why are we wasting all of this time editing stuff if people are just going to listen to the parts where we make mistakes anyway?
I think we should just record our normal conversations and let people listen to that because that's like one big blooper.
Uh, my life is a blooper.
It's a blooper.
My
Wow.
life is a blooper. You know, everyone loves it, but it's hard. It's hard to listen to sometimes.
I know what you're talking about though, because same.
Well, yeah, I mean, we also record on Fridays, and Fridays are the end of the week, and weeks are hard.
Weeks are hard.
Yeah, they're hard. Anyway, okay, so we don't have any news, really. Hey.
We do have a bonus episode for our patrons.
Oh, yes, we do. Putting up that
So,
content up. Ooh.
yes. So, go and what do you sign up for it? What do you call it? Sign up?
You join.
You join, so go and join that and get some extra, get some of that extra content.
Yeah, I wonder if it's obvious which one of us handles the social media accounts.
Yeah, I'm not that great at social meds.
Speaking of last week, we did a first-hand encounters episode. Some of our listeners sent in their stories, and guys, it was brilliant. Loved it so much. Super successful episode. So please keep on sending through your stories to us. We'd love to share them with the world. If you would like to send us your story, or if you'd like to become a patron and get that bonus content, or if you just want to follow us on social media and not miss an episode, please go to our website. I have popped a link in the description. Um, yeah, do that. It would help us out a ton. We are a podcast, can't see your faces, so this is a good way to show us the love. Okay, I'd like to try and keep this week's episode short and sweet. So I'm going to start. Now, everyone has heard the tale of the Headless Horseman, right? You know, scary
Yes.
horse guy, part of the apocalypse, horse of death or something. I say everyone's heard of it, but I can't actually recall the full story now. It was a really cool movie on it. But anyway, so you've heard the tale of the Headless Horseman, but have you heard about the Tokai Horseman?
No.
Well, in the Western Cape, there is this stunning little forest called the Tokai Forest, and there's like this big old cave in there called the Elephant's Eye. We totally have to go sometime, but that's besides the point. So in Tokai, there is the famous Tokai Manor House, and it's like a national monument now. It was completed in 1796 and it was described as the most outstanding homestead in the Cape Peninsula. Fun fact, it was designed by a Frenchman who was considered to be South Africa's first architect, and his name is French, so I'm totally gonna screw it up, but his name was Louis Michel Thibault, something like that. But what makes this manor so beautiful is, well, first of all, the European influence. It was one of the first more European styled homes in South Africa at the time, and it's built with this really high front stoop or veranda, as everyone outside of South Africa would call it, and cascading down from either side is twin flights of stairs. So it spirals out into the front, and then there are these giant round pillars. So it's got this beautiful, beautiful entrance, and it's like quite a grand building. So when it was built back in the heyday, it was talk of the town. And the ironic or sad story behind this place is that the guy who actually originally built this place, it actually financially ruined him. By
Oh.
the time it was, yeah, by the time this thing was built, he actually couldn't afford to keep it and had to end up selling it. So, a bit of a sad start, but anyway. What was his name? Let me tell Shame. Let's not leave him out of history. Yes, his name was Andries um Tubes. Andries Tubes.
I think it's Tubies. I think I knew someone from high school with that surname.
Teubes.
Yeah, I think it's Tubies.
So poor Andries Tubes commissioned this French master architect to build the most amazing house in the Cape Peninsula, and unfortunately, he wasn't actually able to stay there. But these are all just fun facts. That's not even part of the story. Where it really gets interesting is the family who took on the house after him. After he was left bankrupt, the house was then purchased by none other than Petrus Extian and his family. Now, the Extians were very, very wealthy, and they were really well known for having like really lavish parties and gatherings and banquets and stuff. They loved to host. And on one fateful night, and it happened to be on a New Year's Eve, so it was an extra rowdy party. During one of these lavish get togethers, Senior Eckstein Petrus dared his son Frederick to ride his horse up on the steep steps of the manor and ride his horse around in the dining room. Being a young, brave, boisterous, probably slightly drunk man, Frederick agreed to this. So he went out, got his horse, rode the horse up the steep stairs. Remember, I told you he's got that steep twin spiral staircase out the front.
Mm-hmm.
Rode his horse up the stairs, rode it around in the dining room, which everybody loved. Apparently, they were cheering, clapping, cheering, you name it. Turns around, and as he's descending the staircase, it strikes midnight, and one of the slaves then ring the bell to signal that it's midnight,
Mm-hmm.
the countdown, whatever they did back in those days. They didn't have global clocks like we do. And the horse obviously got a fright, tripped at the top of the stairs, and both Frederick and the horse tumbled all the way down, Frederick breaking his neck, and they both died.
Oh.
Yeah. So what started as like a fun little dare at a rowdy party ended in the poor heir to the Extian fortune dead on New Year's night. But the story doesn't end there. Legend has it that to this day, the ghostly horseman is often heard and seen in the surrounding forest. This is one of the few forests I know about in South Africa. And apparently, people who work in the manor, a lot of the people that work there live there because it is sort of a little bit out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm.
Apparently, they claim to very often hear drunken laughter and horse hooves running through the forest. Some have even witnessed a man on horseback galloping around the property in the early hours of the morning, which makes me think of witching hour, y'all.
Mhm.
Apparently, Frederick makes most of his appearances during New Year's Eve, which is the anniversary of Frederick's death, where him and the horse just repeat the same stunt over and over and over again for eternity.
Oh, that's so sad.
It is quite sad. But people also say that they hear laughter and like drunken laughter and stuff. So I think it's kind of like the essence of that night was captured. It was
Mm,
being captured in this haunting.
a
So
residual thing.
it could be a residual thing, but the thing that makes me think that it's not is that there were people working in the foresters or something. Anyway, they claim to have seen and heard a horseman and his horse
Mm.
galloping at full speed through the forest.
At the time that what's his name died, there were probably a lot of people riding horses, so maybe it's a different horse ghost that they're
So
hearing
you
now.
think in this hectare of forest, there's a residual haunting and another haunting that just
And
happens to be
a horse ghost.
a horse
Yeah, yeah,
ghost. Okay.
yeah.
So you think it's not the Takai Horseman, you think it's the Takai Horseman.
Men, yes,
Men.
yes, there's multiple.
Horsemen. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh.
It's just a theory.
I thought I was the believer between the two of us. Turns out I'm the skeptic.
Be more open to the possibilities, Roxanne.
Speaking of open to possibilities, what exactly are you going to be teaching us tonight? You said something
Oh,
to me earlier before the recording about an opening an eye or something. So if you would like me to open my mind, let's start now.
ooh, oh,
Oh,
that was a really nice transition. Awesome.
was
Okay,
it?
so I'm going to briefly touch on the third eye, opening the third eye, as well as astral projection.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm just going to like briefly
Hmm.
educate y'all um, on what that
Yeah.
is exactly, but I'm not going to go like that deep into astral projection and stuff like that. It's just going to be like a brief overview of what it is because I do want to go more in depth in another episode. All right, so first let's get into the third eye. So people often associate the third eye with wisdom and intuition, and because of that, people might not think that it's a bad thing necessarily, but there are some who believe that you get more than just wisdom and insight into like the real world events and things like that.
Okay.
They believe that you are also able to see and understand things in the spiritual world, which includes, spirits and entities that are perhaps a little bit on the evil side. And this is quite dangerous because it's believed that once you open your third eye, you can never stop seeing these things,
Oh, goosebumps. That's so awesomely creepy.
right? So there are a few dangers that are associated with opening your third eye that I found. Well, okay. In my opinion, they're more like side effects than actual
Mm,
dangers, but anyway.
okay.
There are quite a few, but I'm only going to focus on the dreaming and astral projection parts. The first thing that they spoke about was vivid dreams and intense nightmares.
Mm.
And they say that you will often wake up feeling tired after you've had these dreams, and that the dreams usually have lessons or messages that are presented to you while you are sleeping. Dreaming is also very often associated with astral projection. And astral projection is basically when part of yourself leaves your body. It's unclear what exactly it is that leaves your body, whether it's your spirit itself or something else. But basically, this happens at night when you are in bed. And I think for now, let's just call it your soul. So your soul rises out of your body and you are able to move around in the astral realm, which is basically like a spiritual realm. It's kind of been described as a place between heaven and earth. So you're not really walking around in your own physical environment. So if you walk into a room and you see, let's say, like a mother or a brother or something, they won't see you because you're not in the same realm as them. It's like a
Isn't
different
that
dimension, I guess you could say.
isn't that purgatory
No, no,
or
that
limbo?
limbo, kind of like limbo. There are different opinions on what the astral realm and what limbo is. So yeah, I'll get into that in the episode based solely on astral projection. But anyway,
Based solely.
so, hey,
Hey!
hey, pun,
Hey!
pun partially intended. All right. So some people have a fear of getting stuck outside of their body while they are
Mm,
astrally projecting, but supposedly nothing bad can happen because it's usually a very short period of time where you like are temporarily away from your body. So, but although you cannot die from the act of astral projecting itself, it can be dangerous if something happens to your physical body, such as
mm.
a heart attack, organ failure, or like being stabbed or something.
Brain
Um,
aneurysms.
yeah, yeah. So it is possible to be harmed or die while astral traveling, but it's likely not going to happen because of an attack on your astral body. Another common concern is that you can get stuck in the astral realm, which is apparently not true, but I kind of do have my own theory about that. It's got to do with sleep paralysis, but I'm not going to get into that theory until another episode because sleep paralysis is its whole thing. Um, all right, so that's like the brief education section that is now over. So the reason why um, I'm talking about this is there's something very interesting that has been happening. It's got to do with brown vinegar and salt. And so
Okay.
I decided to look into what exactly these two ingredients are supposed to do. So the basic explanation for why people are using this mixture is the belief that just because you cannot see negative energy in entities doesn't mean that they're not there. And so apparently people use a mixture of water, white vinegar, and salt, which is supposed to like clean an area of negative energy. But people have been using brown vinegar and salt, which will apparently open your third eye in some way and allow you to see the spirits of the witches that are cursing you or bringing you misfortune. And if you put this mixture under your bed at night, you will be able to see these people while you are dreaming. And they could be strangers within the community or people that you know, even family members.
Mm.
And apparently, once you are in your dream state, which to me sounds more like astral traveling than an actual dream, which is why I wanted to explain that first. So once you are in this dream state and they notice that you can see them, they will try to fight you in your dream or in the astral realm.
Oh my word. Okay.
And so they say you need to be very mentally and spiritually strong to be able to survive the attack, or you will not wake up. And by that
Oh
I mean
no.
you will die. hmm
Oh no.
Now, I did mention earlier that you can't die during astral projection unless
You
something
did.
happens to your physical body. So I don't know if this is supposed to be some kind of like a spiritual attack, or if these people try to attack your physical body while you are sleeping, like while you are projecting.
Mm.
Um, but because this is like a very recent thing, there aren't that many personal stories available online that go into a lot of detail about the experiences. So I can't really give an informed opinion on how exactly you could die from it, but those are just my two theories or opinions. Um, I think it would either have to be some kind of a spiritual attack that can only harm you while you are in the astral realm, or somehow they're doing something to your body while you're sleeping and that you can't defend yourself.
I think
But
it's probably like in the dream state or astral realm.
mm, I
Maybe
think
you
so
don't die. Maybe you can't get back to your body. How creepy is that?
right. But now,
I
um,
have actually, sorry to interrupt. I have actually, not on Twitter, but I did come across this on TikTok.
oh yes, I was literally about to mention that.
Jackson, because I just got TikTok, right? And the last 2 nights we've been trying to figure out how this thing works.
Huh?
And there were so many posts about this brown vinegar and salt.
Yeah,
And like woof, right over our heads. We didn't know what the hell we were looking at.
well now you
Yeah,
know.
now I know. Now I kind of want to go back.
I did see those TikToks while I was doing my research, but it's like, those are basically the only things that you can find, or someone just like describing what the people looked like in their dreams. Like no one actually describes what the attack on them was like. So, I don't know what to make of this situation. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a
Mm.
real thing, or if it's, just something that, like a story that people are talking about these days and just became popular because of social media.
All I have is some apple cider vinegar. So if I do that, do you think the Uniondale ghost will visit me?
Um, I don't know if the Uniondale ghost specifically would be
She
interested in you.
smells like apples.
Ah, but apple cider,
Ah,
apple cider,
apple cider.
apple cider,
Apple cider.
apple cider vinegar doesn't really smell like apples. But apparently, the combination of vinegar and salt is actually quite dangerous and can be very harmful to like your skin and eyes and your organs and everything. So probably don't do it anyway because you just
Mm.
shouldn't.
What do
Is
you
it
what are you supposed to do with the mixture?
you're
Do
supposed to
you
put it under your bed before you go to
you just
sleep?
leave it?
Mm. That's what I read. I know. See that's the thing. Like when people are telling their stories about what happened, they really is like no detail. It's just like I don't know how much salt you're supposed to use. I don't know how much vinegar. They just say brown vinegar and salt under the bed before you sleep, and then you wake up and you're gonna fight some witches, so you have to be strong or you'll die. And then yeah, that's basically what all of the accounts have said.
Okay,
I don't know if these people are just having regular nightmares and think that it's this I don't know this projection. I don't even know what to classify this as.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if what they experienced is the real thing or if they just think it is because it was on their mind when they went to bed and it kind of just, I don't know. It's an interesting one for me, but it's a bit like, but like I don't know really what to make of this story. I don't know what to make of my own story. How weird is that? I would love to do a follow-up on this. If people post more descriptions of what they actually went through. But yeah. Oh, oh, wait a second. Wait a second.
mm,
My friend sent me one of the screenshots she sent me, I think was a description of someone's story. But it's really like the text is so tiny, so I don't even think I can read it. But I'll try.
please, yeah, please try.
Um, I okay, I can't read the person's name. Um, it's Lorato something. But I don't know, the text is too blurry to see. But she says she had to make a fake account to share it anyway.
Shame, man.
All right, so it says, firstly, before you attempt to do this, you must be very strong, not only physically, but spiritually and mentally. You need to pray and fast days before doing the mixture. Then, on the night of putting the mixture under the bed, you need to pray even harder. I did this mixture last year around this time, but I was told by a traditional healer to do it if I want to see the person behind my misfortunes. The healer already knew, but she refused to tell me. She said she wants me to see for myself. Well, I did as I was told, prayed and fasted for 7 days, and what I saw still haunts me today. In the dream, I saw three white caskets, and I was walking with a colleague of mine who told me not to go near those caskets because we don't know what's happening. But I'm stubborn like that even in real life. I went near the caskets and I was about to approach them. And as I was about to approach them, three trustworthy people came out of it: my aunt, her friend, and our neighbor. They fought me like crazy. I kept shouting the name of Jesus. It was hard to even open my mouth, but I did. I shouted the name of Jesus until I managed to fight them. The neighbor and the friend ran away, and I was now faced with my aunt, who asked me if I think I'm better than her own children. Her oldest daughter is a doctor, and her son owns a big construction company, so I don't understand how she can become jealous of me when I'm just a cashier. Then, out of nowhere, she joined her friends and told me I won't wake up. After that, I woke up and I lit my candles and prayed. After 2 days, I went back to the healer, and even before I told her about my dream, she told me about it. She said she also saw the dream I had, but the fact that I woke up means I'm okay and I've won the battle, and they won't do anything to me or even people close to me. Today, the very same aunt and her witch friends can't look at me in the eye. I laugh at them. I'm no longer scared. So people, this is not a joke. If you really want to try this, then you must be very strong, and I mean strong, because you might die in your sleep or even become paralyzed or crazy. And remember, if you win the fight in your dreams, your enemies may still continue to try and bewitch you, meaning the fight continues because you've opened your third eye to seeing these things. Good luck.
Okay, so I rate that nobody listening to this should do anything with vinegar or salt underneath their bed.
Yeah.
In general, I don't believe that one should be playing any of these like Bloody Mary, Candyman, Charlie. Don't do any of that stuff, guys. Don't do it. And don't do this either.
It's not worth
Don't do
it.
this. No, no. I mean, it's interesting to read, but we don't want any of our listeners to get hurt.
Mm.
We love you guys.
I love you guys.
And I think that is it for today's episode. As
Yeah.
always, thank you so much for watching.
For watching.
Thank you so much for listening. Or what
And
is it
we
you keep saying? Don't get haunted, don't get possessed.
don't get haunted, don't get possessed, don't open your third eye. And
Don't
we will
open.
see you all next week. Bye bye.
Bye. I'm drinking wine and this energy drink that has a warning that kids under the age of 12 are not allowed to drink it.
That's not like an intense warning though. That's like a pretty standard warning. You shouldn't have anything like caffeinated if you are any of those kinds of people.
Mm. Shall we start?
Okay, old man.
I feel like my saliva is not normal. Okay, I'm going to start.
Mm-hmm.
Silence! Sorry, I just needed to burp.
I've been trying not to laugh. That was so random.
Joking. We're
Stop
so
swearing,
gonna
Roxanne.
we're gonna have to edit. Oh, please, you're the one who keeps all the swearing in it. Every single episode, I have to go double edit just to make sure that there's no f bombs in the
'Cause
credits.
I think
And the
it's
I
funny.
know you think it's funny, but Mom will have my head if I dishonor her in such a public way.
Well, we already talk about kids being dicks, so you might as well just drop an
But that
F-bomb
is
in there.
just the truth. Knock
Okay,
knock.
let me know who's there.
Interrupting sheep.
Interrupting sheep who
Meh!
would have been so funny if you actually interrupted me.
Astral projected.
That was lame.
Hashtag dad joke. Hey dad. Hey.
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 Hey. All right.
Oh, who are we
Schnell.
kidding? He's not listening.
They could
Your
also
body's out of this world.